Hello and welcome to the Easily Excitable podcast. My name is Top and with me this week is Shoban. Hey man, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, things go... done it again. I said yeah instead of answering the question. Things are going alright. Well, since we last talked and since I last put a podcast out, like, all the decisions have been firmed up and I should be moving to America on the 17th of May.
Yeah, we
just
have
need
a
to make
date
sure
now.
I just need to make sure my flight's all booked and everything. So that's all going. I finished my job on Thursday,
Right.
and yeah, I've just been chilling out ever since, just trying to really figure out what I'm trying to do and get stuff organised and arranged. Like, I've got containers arriving on Tuesday that need to be packed, and I need to create lists of everything that goes into each box so that I can send it off.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's crazy. And then, yeah, there's a lot of things that are interesting about, like, trying to ship stuff over. So if you're trying to ship stuff into America, if you've had it longer for a year, it's fine and you can import it.
Okay.
But if you've had it for less than a year, you need to pay, like, customs and import tax, which is really strange. But I don't think there's anything that I've bought in the last year that I'm just like, this is something I am taking into America that's come within the last year. And I'm kind of glad that I haven't, like, in the past, or, well, in the recent past, asked for specific items for, like, Rachel and I's house.
Right.
Like, so when we're living together, because otherwise we'd need to pay the import tax on it.
Of course.
And so, luckily, like, whenever anyone's offered anything, I'm just like, don't bother with anything right now. It's not worth it. But, like, this is just another thing that I'm just like, oh, I'm glad that so far we haven't accepted any gifts or anything.
Yeah.
Because
man.
that would be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
I
Just
didn't even
turning
think
up
about
and
that.
Just,
Oh.
I know. I didn't think about it until I saw, like, the forms that I've got to fill in, like, this week. So, yeah, I'm just about to ship 2 of my guitars over as well, and I'm trying to sell my amp, and I'm trying to,
Oh man.
trying to sell my little acoustic guitar as well, and it's just, it's a crazy time.
Yeah.
There's
it
so
is.
much going on, and
Oh,
I'm
man.
just like, yes, there's all this responsibility, so why don't I spend all my time playing games? Oh well. How are things with you? You busy at the moment?
Oh yeah, man. It's So basically, I want to say, the last time we spoke, I think I was still in training. So I was working out of a call center, basically taking client requests for new loans through the phone, and that
Mhm.
was for clients all over Canada. So
Okay.
as of March, I went back to the city that I'm basically put into to cover,
Mhm.
and I've been dealing with the clients out there. And the problem over there was that, this job is it's very relationship based, and it's
Mhm.
very, they need to have trust in you for you to be able to do work. But there's been such high turnover in the past couple of years that their, like, morale is at an all-time low,
Oh no.
and the people that they're hiring are from outside sources, so there's not a great amount of there's not a real great amount of knowledge there.
Experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've been, honestly, this past month I've just been putting out fires and then just been getting yelled at, and then having to listen to people yell at me, and then just
Uh-huh.
continue on with it. So it's been busy, but honestly it's good, just because it when people aren't when people's expectations are so low, and then you get to go and overachieve those expectations,
Mhm.
it definitely helps. And I think one of my benefits is that it's very easy for me to diffuse the situation. So
Yeah.
people will just come and they'll just yell, and I'll let them yell at me as long as they want, and then I'll say,
Mhm.
okay, I understand. I apologize for everything you've had to deal with so far.
Mhm.
What can we do to fix this going forward? And
No.
then it
Cool.
makes it a lot easier.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
that's been my, like, month and a half now. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's honestly probably gonna get worse before it gets better, but I'm looking forward to the challenge, and because if I can change this around, it's gonna be a huge benefit to me career wise, and it's also gonna be a huge payout at the end of the year. So I'm not mad.
Nice, nice. I Yeah, now I'm like out of a job. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do going forwards. So yeah, hopefully that'll be like when I go over to the States, I'll be able to find something.
Right.
I'll be able to like find something that does inspire me and like keeps me going. So
Right.
yeah, something that entertains me, keeps me engaged and everything. Like I think, well, last year was like the craziest year for me, just
Oh
because
yeah.
I got back after having 3 months off in the States, and I had so much to do. I had a list of things that just kept growing, but I was keeping on top of it, ticking things off, getting stuff done. I trained a new employee. Then later in the year, I got the person who has replaced me now, and like got that all sorted. Got the company certified to like 3 different management systems, and just had the craziest year that was just so filled with so much stuff that
Right.
now I'm just like, okay, cool, I got through that year. And then this year, because my replacement was already there and we've been training for like 3 months already,
Right.
I just kind of, this year so far, is just like, what am I doing? There's nothing for me to do here.
Right.
So I've been feeling quite frustrated in it, which is kind of why I wanted to leave sooner rather than later, even though I'm not flying for like another. Well, when this comes out, it'll be 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Oh my god,
Okay.
can't remember. Yeah, I think it'll be 3 weeks. Ooh, that's actually not enough. Not much time thinking about it. I was like, oh,
Yep.
so yeah, I've got so much to do as well. But yeah, hopefully when I get over, I'll just be able to chill out, find a job, just meet people as well, like in the
Yeah.
local community. But the first thing that's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to drive for a few months anyway, because I won't have a driving license. I need a social security number to get a driving license. And so,
Right.
you know, I'm just going to be around
Yeah.
to chill
No,
out.
that's fair.
But
It's
hopefully I'll find some people. But
no, definitely. I mean, you're sociable enough, man. Like it'll be very easy for you to like just find people to kind of hang out with, and
yeah,
once you get over there, so you'll be fine.
yeah. I posted a journal on Thursday about like the place that I worked and like how that's affected me, and like the fact that I feel way more sociable than I used to. I think is very much attributed to my job.
Mm.
Mainly because like before my job, so I stopped drinking 2 weeks into my job
Okay.
because I was like, okay, I want to have a clearer mind and make sure that I'm understanding everything correctly.
Right.
And before then, the alcohol would bring out somewhat of a personality. It's mostly the personality that I have now. It's
Right.
just, it was veiled and took a while and some social lubricant to get it out of me, right?
Of course.
But yeah, like actually getting the confidence to be like that all the time and just be the confident person that I actually am. Like
Right.
it took me a while to really get there. And yeah, I definitely attribute that to the job, as in the job as loosening me up much
Absolutely.
better than I had previously been able to do because of the guise of using alcohol to do it for me. So
Of course.
oh, everything would be so much different. Anyway, I already know that everything would be so much different if like I hadn't stopped drinking. But
Yeah.
that's a personal thing. I'm not going to force that on anyone. There's no point.
Oh
I
no,
just
that's fair,
like
man.
I know the benefits for me are just so massive.
Oh
that-
yeah. No, like
Yes.
honestly, I feel like I went through something very similar because
Mhm.
the amount. I think it's also again, like you said, it's based on the job. Like when you guys first sort of met me like 2015, 2016,
Mhm.
I was actually drinking like, a lot heavier than I am now,
Yeah.
and that was I think it's honestly the exact same thing. I was social, but it was only after I had like a couple drinks, and then would let it out, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is me. But then once I got into my previous job,
Mhm.
where it was mostly sales, I had to be on all the time, and it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I had to be just a social person in order to do well in the city. And so because of that, I was like, oh, I don't need to drink as often as I do. Like I think maybe now I have like a beer once every 3 months,
Hmm.
Like that's it. It's reduced significantly, and it's very surprising. It's and it's. I remember I used to have like the thought where I'm like, oh, I have to have a drink, or else everybody's gonna think I'm the weirdo that's not drinking. But now
Hmm.
it's like I'll go out with people, and nobody will get drinks, and nobody's forcing drinks, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like this is that was such a ridiculous mindset.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting how work shapes you into the person that you become. It's very
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Cool. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
We went to Serious Town for a
We
bit.
went
Ah, I don't
so
like that.
serious.
Cool. Yeah. So, what have you been spending your time doing? Playing games
Yeah.
and anything
So
else?
it's been literally I go to work, I come
Hmm.
back, I go to the gym, I come back, I play video games, I go to bed. That's been my
Nice.
cycle nonstop. It might change in the future just because I found out that in at least in my area,
Hmm.
once a month they're showing a different Miyazaki film
Ooh,
in
nice.
theaters.
Uh huh.
So earlier this month was Howl's Moving Castle,
Cool.
uh, uh, Kiki's Delivery Service is in July, Totoro's in August, Princess Mononoke is in November. So I got a couple friends that might want to go check that out in theaters.
Princess Mononoke is like my favorite film of all time. I don't know
I've
who knows that, but like it's so my favorite film of all time.
Well, that's the thing. I've
It's
seen
just the
clips
best.
of it, and I wanted to
Uh huh.
watch the whole thing, but I've never watched the whole thing from start to
So good.
finish. Just I
It's
need to
incredible.
do it. Like I need to do that when it's there.
Yeah.
Um, so
Absolutely.
so that's that. Boxing's still going strong.
Hmm.
I've been trying to combine sort of my boxing training with like strength training,
Hmm.
just to help the overall build. So uh, the past couple months I've been doing a lot more bulking. I The amount of food I ate, it was unreal. I think I ate it was I had a goal of 4,800 calories a day.
Oh, gross! There's so much.
It's so much.
There's
It's
so
too much.
much. Yeah.
And that's how much I had to maintain after working out too. And because my metabolism's fast,
Hmm.
after like I'm done working out, I would have burned 2,000.
Hmm.
So I needed to. I would just. I think I did the math, and I would have to eat about two whole chickens a day. Just
God.
It's so much protein, just
Yeah.
so much. But now that I've reached the desired weight, I've just
Hmm.
been doing cardio, the boxing training, and then strength training on top of that.
Nice.
And the good thing about this job is that it's very flexible. Like it's easier for me to work from home than to actually be in an office.
Hmm.
So what I might do is I might wake up a little bit earlier, just sit in my pajamas at my desk, just work on a bunch of stuff for work, and then once everything's done and I got a bit of a breather room, then I'll go to the
Hmm.
gym, stay there for a couple hours, come back, and then I'll play. Honestly, I've been playing just way too much Stardew Valley. It it's one of those games where it won't. You'll play it and you're like, oh, okay, this is fun, and you'll put it away, and then one day you'll just play it and you'll get to something, and then done. Like I think in the span of a week, my hours because on the Switch, one good thing I like about the Switch is it tells you like how many hours you played. I
Hmm.
jumped from 5 hours to 25 hours,
Ooh.
and I was like, how? This is, and it's just because it's so portable. Like what I do is I'll take the Joy Cons out of the side of the console, put the console just up anywhere, lie down, sit down, stand wherever, and then just play it because I don't need to focus with the two controllers.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
then so at that point, I've gone to I think level 45 of the mines,
Hmm.
and then I'm also in the process of I've gotten almost all like a lot of the boards, the community center boards are pretty
Hmm.
much cleared out. I think
Nice.
and this is I'm only year one fall right now, so the pieces that I'm missing are pretty much just from like winter stuff.
Hmm.
What else is there? There's yeah, I've already built a coop. I've already built the silo for winter. I've already upgraded my house. Like it's just been going crazy. So there's been that.
Cool.
I'm getting ready for the new Mortal Kombat because I was never like I need to buy a new Mortal Kombat game. And then this game was previewed, and I need to buy this new Mortal Kombat game because it is unbelievable. I am very surprised at how it is, and it's very. I'm very surprised at how much I want this game.
Oh, cool.
And
Yeah, it looks a bit mad. I haven't really. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 trailers for it, but
right, it's just so what I've learned about it, at least story wise, is very interesting. So back in 2000, I want to say 13 or 14, when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, they rebooted the entire franchise because it got ridiculous. They're like, there's too many people, like, we don't know what's going on, the gameplay is weird, let's just go back to, like, base roots. So they take it all the way back to the first series, and then they redid the story. And Mortal Kombat 10, everybody's pretty much an adult. Now with this one, there's time travel, and so the characters, their younger like selves from the 90s, are teaming up with themselves in like the future or present tense, and then they all have to stop like a time god, and I'm like, this is I am intrigued. I would like to know more, please. Like this is ridiculous.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And so I was like, all right, I got to play that. And then I've actually I've gotten into D&D a lot more, even though like our sessions that I have with like Raichi and like a couple of the other people, they've been a little bit sparse just because I've been busy and they've been busy. So trying to get like a time for everybody's been off. But I've been using the D&D Beyond app. I got all the Dungeon Master guides. I got the player's handbook and everything, and I've just been reading up on those to kind of understand the game more. And I have a couple friends over here that really want to start playing, and so I only started playing maybe early this year, so I don't know if I should be the one to try to say, hey, let me DM the campaign, or if I should just say, okay, let's look for somebody who does like one shots and then sit down somewhere and we'll just do a one shot to see if you guys like it or not.
Yeah.
So that it's just like kind of like figuring that stuff out. But yeah, I've learned so much about the game, which I was very surprised about.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how long. I've probably been playing it 4 or 5 years at this point. So yeah, it's fun.
I just created a new character, which because I decided to experiment with dual classing for the first time.
Yeah.
And so I have a character. It's level 6. So it's got four traits in cleric, and then 2 traits as a rogue. And the backstory is that when this character was younger, he was like a thief, and then he got caught and sent to jail. And while he was in jail, he saw the light, and then so he decided to change his life around and become a cleric.
Fair enough.
But he still has his like tendency. He's still able to pick locks, and he's still able to do a lot of the things he used to do before. But none of the rest of the party knows his backstory. They're just they just know that he's a cleric. They don't know about his shady past.
Fair enough. What am I playing at the moment? I'm playing like a cleric bard, I think. Yeah, I'm playing cleric bard tabaxi. And just having the best time with it, because like I'm playing a really, really support based character. Because my adventuring partner is a paladin, and so we go on like holy crusades, and I'm like all performancy and deceptive and everything, and he's just the dumb, I want to hit things with a hammer, but I'm doing it for God. So we just have the best time. He's just like, let me smash it. I'm just like, let me introduce us first, determine whether we need to smash it, and then we can go for it.
That's amazing.
I think we're close to the end of that campaign as well, because we're gonna hopefully wrap it up before I leave, and we are, on the verge of finishing. So,
okay,
should be a good resolution. Looking forward to that. But
nice.
Yeah, I've got that going on. I've been playing Path of Exile. I'm always playing Path of Exile. I've just completed like one of the boss fights in the end game. Actually, no, I completed 2 boss fights in the end game. Actually, one of the seasonal ones and one of the static ones that's always available and around. I'm gonna work on another one.
Okay.
I might do that today. Actually, I'm not sure. And yeah, I'm having a really good time with the build that I'm working on, and I just got an item that like causes like. So I'm using lightning-based spells.
Right.
And I got a ring that when you hit anything, one of the ring's effect is to cause things to be weak to lightning damage. So I yay, lightning damage
Yeah.
for everything, right? As soon as it hits them, they're then weak to lightning damage, so the next hit will annihilate them.
Exactly.
And then I got an amulet that gives me a skill if I get a critical hit with any of my spells. So my main spell is a spell that you cast and it does AoE damage and can attach to enemies.
Right.
And its current cast rate's about 3.7 to 3.8 per second.
Okay.
So you're hitting nearly 4 times a second.
Right.
But my crit rate is nearly 40%.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm and then I'm triggering a level 20 lightning bolt on it. So it's doing massive damage. And I'm just yeah, this is the best. This is what I want. So yeah, I do absolutely mad damage with it, and yeah, it's been a real good time. I'm just yeah, this is what I want to be doing. So I'm having fun with that. The build's finally coming together. The game's full of these ways to earn currency, and at the moment, well, the last few days, all day Friday and most of the day yesterday, I just spent farming currency so I could gain anything that I wanted to get within reason. So I think I spent I gathered 150 chaos orbs, which are the currency that's used for trading.
Okay.
And it's the base tier of the really properly tradable currency. There are currencies that are beneath it that are traded, but they're only used is equivalent to chaos, so you'd use 2 of those currencies for 1 chaos.
Right. Okay.
It's a mess. It's a great game. There was a GDC talk by Chris Wilson, who is the chief developer of Path of Exile.
Okay.
And it's about an hour-long talk where he's talking about how Path of Exile is designed to be played forever, and it is just the most fascinating video about game design and how they design and develop Path of Exile, and how every 13 weeks they have to come up with a new batch of content for their releases. And I was just this is just the craziest thing. And he talks so fast as well. He's I have 96 slides to get through in 45 minutes, let's go. And just rips through it. It's it's completely mental, but it's so worth checking out. Because yeah, he just talks about how the game's developed and designed and how everything comes together, and it's just really, really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely need to check that out, because that seems really interesting in how they kind of plan that out.
Yeah. So if you have a spare hour, I would probably recommend watching it on 0.75 speed.
Okay.
And then giving it an hour and a quarter or an hour and 20 minutes. To actually watch through, because then it's probably much more manageable.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that game's a lot of fun. I think I've gone from 480 hours 2 weeks ago to I think 540. Yeah, 540 hours in the last 2 weeks. That's because I've had time to burn, and I'll just play. And yeah, I think the last 2 days have been probably over 10 hours each day, which isn't the best, but at the same time I'm just it's fun, I'm enjoying myself.
Exactly.
And then I've also just started playing Sky Factory 4.
Okay.
Achievement Hunter did a big Let's Play Sky Factory 3 in Minecraft, and that went on for ages. And Sky Factory 4 is very different.
Really?
Sky Factory 3 starts with you sieving resources and materials to gather the base things so you can start building equipment and everything.
Right.
Whereas Sky Factory 4 starts you with a tree that's a dirt tree, and then from there you can start building other things from that, rather than having to sieve resources. Although currently, at the moment, I'm not very far into the pack, but I am lost, and I don't know what recipe I'm trying to put together, but at the moment it is not working.
Right.
So I'm just trying to find my way through, make some trees, gather some resources, and then start experimenting so that I can make my way into the next thing.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll get an idea of what I'm trying to do. But right now, I do not know what I'm doing.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fun. I might just go hunting for a tutorial on YouTube to try and like teach me a little bit about what I'm missing.
Right.
Because I think I'm like 1 or 2 discoveries away from actually being able to unlock a vast majority of the stuff I'm close to getting to.
Right.
And it's just like, I'm just stuck at this hurdle that I just don't know how to get over. But it's fun, it's exploring, and, you know, Sky Factory is a lot of fun, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to keep playing it. So, yeah. Yeah. Anything else going on at the moment? Yes, that's what we were going to talk about. The new Starbomb album just came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, this is good.
It was... I've been slowly getting into it just to kind of catch up, just because there's been so much music that's come out in, honestly, the past, like, few months. Usually...
Yeah.
It's interesting because normally you'll have, like, a bit of a period of just emptiness during the winter, and then everybody will try to come out during, like, the spring and summer months, but I feel like people had just been releasing content non-stop recently, and it, like, I've just been on a backlog of trying to get through it. So I've been listening to it, but what I'm doing now is I will play an album from start to finish, and I won't look at the titles, and I won't, like, pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And any albums that are super cohesive, then I'll be like, oh yeah, like this is fantastic, because that means they really thought about the album as a whole and like brought everything through. But yeah, this Starbomb album, I've just listened to I think like the first 3 tracks, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just
Whereas
so
I've
good.
probably listened to it through about 10 times already. And like, so they were talking about it, Danny and Aaron were talking about it in one of their Super Mario Odyssey Let's Plays, where they just got back from recording the album, and they spent like 14 days writing the album, and each day they had to come up with a song.
Right.
And I don't know whether they've done any like further work on the songs since they'd done the recording. Because some of the tracks I feel like could do with a little more.
Right.
And so I'm like, yeah, there's some really, really good songs in there that I'm just like, oh, this is cool. But like, what's the one I'm thinking of? It's the one that he's talking about Pikachu. Yeah. It's a wild guitar solo appears. Right? It's awesome. It's probably my favourite track on the album. It's really, really cool. But the intro just doesn't seem right to me. Like, the intro to the song.
Right.
Because it's just flat Danny's voice with, like, no further work done on it. Or, like, any harmonies or just not double-tracked or something.
Right.
There's just something about it that seems off. And then, like, after the first 20 seconds, the rest of the song's really awesome and all cohesive and works together. But like the first 20 seconds is just, no, I don't really.
Right.
Interesting. But yeah, the whole album's really good. I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. Yeah, really cool. No, it's fantastic. Just so good.
Yeah, when I was listening to it in the car, like, because I was out, I don't know what I was doing, but
right.
I was heading back and listening to it in the car, and it just didn't sound good to me. But it just turns out I knew that the car speakers are actually terrible, and they were not doing the mix of this album any good. And like, I thought it was messy and all over the place, and the lyrics, the vocals weren't loud enough. And then like, I've listened to it on headphones, I've listened to it through my laptop, like I've listened to it like through other speakers, and it sounds fine everywhere else but in the car. So I'm just like, I probably shouldn't listen to it in the car again. So, what a shame.
Yeah, no, knowing them, they probably didn't optimize it for like car speakers, because yeah, there are a lot of cars that just have terrible speakers. They're so bad.
Yeah.
Just
so yeah, I'm glad that it does sound good and that there's a lot of thought gone into it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like I was listening to it, but yeah, it's good.
it's
It's
so good.
funny and yeah, really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
Have
fantastic.
you heard of a band called Brass Against?
No, I haven't.
This is like a complete like tangent. I just saw it pop up and I'm just like, oh yeah, let's go down there.
Okay.
So yeah, Brass Against are like this Rage Against the Machine kind of cover band. They've done some Tool songs. They just put out a cover of Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Oh my goodness.
This is great. It's so good. They've got the big brass sounds,
I
and
love
I'm just like, this is so good.
I love those big brass covers of just like any type of song that comes out because they always just make it so loud and it's just so
Yeah.
energetic and it's just the best.
Yeah, and I've seen a bunch of good covers recently as well. Just yeah, whenever I see them, I'm just like, yeah. What does this band also do? If they're just covers, it makes me feel a little disappointed.
Of course.
But at the same time, I'm just like, at least I got to experience them do some music. But yeah, there are times I wish there was more.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So there's actually been a new album that came out, I want to say about a week or two ago, which I found really interesting. It's from one of my favorite sort of R&B artists that are out now. Like, because he's very different. His name is Anderson .Paak. So he's done a lot of interesting sounding stuff. He's based out of California. And he just released an album in October, but he released another album 2 weeks ago. And it's very old-fashioned, like Motown soul type of music.
Ugh.
Like he has a song where he produced it and he worked with Smokey Robinson, and it's like I heard it and I was just like I was so blown away. Like music like right now is just unbelievable. And
Yeah.
oh, actually, do you remember the Cardigans and when they did
Yep.
covers of? So I didn't realize that they did pop like super poppy covers of Black Sabbath songs. It was I heard a cover of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and that was I couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever heard. I would highly recommend checking it out if you needed a good laugh.
Cool.
Just
Yeah, I think
so
I
good.
will.
Just
Fair enough.
it's so weird.
Wicked. Cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to rack my brain to see if there's any other music that I wanted to mention that I've found recently. But yeah, there's a lot of good music that's come out recently, and I'm just
Oh yeah.
it should be good. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, there's a lot of music. There's so much music.
There's a lot of music.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than that, really. But yeah, it's a good time for music. Yeah, real pleased with the Starbomb album. Although there are a few bits where I'm just like, oh, I would change like tiny bits, and just,
Right.
But you know, that's not up to me, is it? So
Yeah, fair.
I don't know how well the album's been received. Actually, I haven't looked at any reviews or anything. I probably will do that later and just see what other people are saying about it. But
Good call, yeah.
yeah, just see if my opinions, thinking that it's flawed in some slight places, are generally the going idea for it, or if people think it's a flawless masterpiece.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, actually, I haven't really looked at too many. I think Starbomb's the only group that I've never really looked at a review for.
Same
Like,
here.
I've just kind of gone through it. I'm like, oh yeah, Starbomb.
It's Starbomb.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh man.
Well, with that bombshell, I guess.
Yeah.
Shoban, where can we find you across the internet?
Just anywhere at Nabos, NABOHS. I'm still surprised that I still have that tag. Like no one else is taking it really. So yep, NABOHS across the internet.
Cool. I can be found across the internet at DestroyTopMar, at Ethafar. That's YTHAFAR. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you Shoban for being my guest this week.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always good just catching up and going over everything.
For sure, for sure. And thank you everyone for listening. Have an exciting week. Goodbye.
Bye.